Is still with me here on the show. We are talking about illegal mining and the fight against illegal mining. There's a new development. Excavators that have been seized and parked at the Forestry Commission, we understand, have been released on orders of the Kumasi mayor. Erastus is here to give us the latest on mining. So Erastus, you are still with me, right?
Yes, Kojo, I'm here.
Good. So give us the latest on the mining issues. What is happening?
Well, I must say that let me acknowledge the effort made by government, especially the Lands Ministry and the Inspector General, their incursions into some of the reserves and the arrests made so far. In fact, the team is still on the ground, and I've been in touch. They are moving deep into the forest, and I like the way they are moving deep into the forest, doing arrests, even in areas that I did not even know that they had illegal miners there. So it is going well in some of the forest reserves. In some of the reserves too, we still have illegal mining going on. And the Forestry Commission is also ramping up on those areas. And one of the critical areas in Ashanti region is Achumampunwa. And that is where a number of illegal miners have turned attention to in recent times. Precisely Jimira and Jimira extension of Fin Shelter Belt, Apenkuru areas and others. Those are the areas that have come under siege recently, and people are invading in numbers. In Kroma Pechi and of Adobeura and others, those are areas that we have illegal miners still operating. And I think yesterday, was it 3 days ago, the Forestry Commission made some arrests. 4 excavators were seized from there. And so if you realize, all the excavators that have been brought to the depot in Kumasi are from Jimira extension of Fin Shelter Belt areas. We still have remnants of illegal miners, though government has raided a lot of areas within the Tanoanya Forest Reserve. There are still some reports of some mining within certain portions of that forest that need to be reversed. Tano Nimre, the IGP and his men, the CID people on the ground, have done quite a yeoman's job in that area. A lot of excavators have been seized. The last time I checked, we have seized 47 from in and around Samreboy, Tano Nimre, Boy Tano, and its environs. The team is still on the ground. Just about 1 week ago, they seized 13 more. Yesterday, I've got briefing. They've entered another area where quite a number of excavators have been seized. So I must say that some work is being done, but there is more to be done, especially mining in settlements. That is still a very big issue which has not been dealt with. And in fact, when you go to certain towns, the Wasa towns, and I keep mentioning Wasa towns because we have gone there and they have said in front of our cameras that what they are doing is illegal. I have those tapes where they boldly told us that what we are doing is Galamsey. But they are doing it anyway. And it's right within the town. And I think we must wage a war on mining and settlements. When you go to the Manso areas, now it's an eyesore, affecting vocational schools, affecting bridges. Even one bridge in Manso, Kenyago, was almost gone. And some very good citizens recently went to the police, got some men, and they've been able to flush them out from. But they've almost destroyed the bridge. And it will take a long time for government to bring funds down to repair the bridge. When you go to Usino, mining is still being done in the town, close to the main road. And we need to do something about it. Kolongo Dumase, mining is still being done. They are still digging beneath homes. Akrukere, close to Obuase, mining is still being done in towns. And so I think that there should be a show of force, a message in that direction, because it is criminal The Minerals and Mining Act does not permit mining in settlement. You can go to prison for 5 years. And we need to enforce that. Again, mining on water bodies. That's also another area that we are yet to
Erastus, hold that thought there. I want us to look at Manso Kenyago. I don't know if those watching us on Facebook can see our screen. Jojo, if you can project the screen for those watching us to see. So you just mentioned Manso Kenyago, and I just went on Google Earth, and I'm looking at the town. I'm looking at Jejetreso DA Primary, for example. There's a Jejetreso DA Primary, and just around the school, I can see mining sites. If I zoom into Kenyago, for example, I'm looking at how the town has been over the past 10 years. And 10 years ago, there was no active mining around the town. But right now, I can see mining happening all around the town. Every corner of the town, there's mining happening. And so this is in a town that possibly has a police station, an assemblyman, a chief, possibly an MP who goes there to campaign and all that. Have they not seen this?
Your guess is as good as mine. When you go to Edubia, the washing bays for artisanal mining, they are being manufactured and produced few meters from the police station. Well, I don't know whether it is a crime to be fixing and producing those things, and that's what they use for the illegal mining activities anyway.
I see that also in the Etiwa area when I'm traveling to Kumasi. You see them manufacturing the washing equipment and some of the mining equipment just by the roadside. And sometimes I ask myself, are these things being built for legal mining or illegal mining? And if it's for legal or illegal, who is regulating the manufacturing of these machines?
And I think that we should be able to control the production of some of these things. Some of them for like equipment like the Shamfan motors. You know specifically that when they manufacture that, it's specifically for that. There's no other purpose. So those things, I think we should be able to take a critical look at. Now you are looking at Manso Kenyago, but the devastation and mining in settlements spreads across all the Manso areas. Yeah. Now you go to, if you look at your Google Earth maps, you will see that Tontokrum has already been destroyed. They are still destroying. You go to Mansonkai. It's evident there. Manso, Edubia, and this environment, it is still there. And on a daily basis, you have people who call me personally, people who send me videos, pictures. Can you come to our area? Can you come and have a look at this for us? All over. Now, there are areas that were resisting illegal mining, like Jema. You know, there is a bishop there. He has done fantastic job. I've forgotten the name, one father. And it was a big resistance in that area that the Jema youth decided that no mining will come to their place. Recently, the mining in surrounding towns have come so close to the extent that now the only stream that shares Jema, where the other degraded lands used to come to fetch water, is now being polluted. And the last time the father called me, he was so sad. And I asked him to report to the police in that area. That is yet to be resolved.
You know, when I grew up in Carrier, so my father used to work in Incaria, so we used to live at Incaria Kuma, close to the Incaria Secondary Technical. And the whole forest reserve from the district assembly, which spread all the way from Incaria, Tuase to the Mpasetia towns and all those towns, we were told that nobody should go and farm there, nobody should go and do anything illegal there, because there were even dwarfs in there. So if you did anything illegal in that Akrimam Punya area, the dwarfs will take you away. But now I'm looking at the maps, and all those areas, people are mining in the forest.
Now Akrimam Punya is the bedrock of Galamsey. Abesia, Abompi, Jimira, Nkroma Pechi, all those areas have been taken over. Although what I'm saying is that government seems to be doing something. But the kind of strong message that we need to send out there, that people, you cannot do this in settlements. You cannot do this on water bodies. There should be a clear demarcation, distinction of these areas as red zones. And I think that's the reason why the CSOs have been demanding state of emergency in those areas, because these are critical areas. These are areas where people stay. Mining is poisonous. Mining, the effluents that come from mining is toxic. And so when you bring it to settlements, you bring it home, definitely you are inviting a lot of diseases to your OPDs. And our health system, we all know, at the local level, is so bad. So seriously, this should be an emergency. The urgency should be felt. The message should be sent out there that we cannot be mining in homes, which is currently going on. If we don't send that message soon enough, it will spread like a cancer to the other towns that we do not have mining. And that will be disastrous for us. Now, and I think that is where the minister, Honorable Amako Fibua, needs to take a critical look, spread what he's doing in Samraboy to the settlement. And I think I've already discussed with him. He has agreed that there's something in the offing, and I can't wait to see that.
Now, Erastus, I have two more questions for you before I bring in listeners. So if you are listening to us, I need to hear from you. What do you think we should do if 65% of teens in mining areas are not going to school? If vegetation is being destroyed, water bodies are being destroyed. You've heard all the various angles and what has been said. You are the Ghanaian. All our leaders are custodians of the natural resources on your behalf. What do you think we should do to arrest this? I want to hear from you on the show. You can send us a message 055-111-997, and later I'll open the phone lines for you to join us. But Erastus, you've been visiting these mining areas and it started raining. Do you see farmers in those areas planning or preparing land for any farming activities? Or because of farming, mining, we are not farming in these areas anymore?
You know, some farmers are waiting for rain. Because in areas like Odahon, Benenebin.
Odahon is close to Obuasi, right?
No, Odahon is within the Amansie west area, close to the Apamprama Forest Reserve.
But it is served by the Oda River, which goes to Obuasi.
Yes, that's where the Oda River, the Oda River takes its source from the Apamprama.
Yeah.
And, 50% of that forest is already gone.
Oh, God.
And so it has changed the rainfall pattern in that area. When I speak with farmers in Benenebin and Odahon and Biakwa, they will tell you that they've been waiting for rain that never comes. Now, many of them do not have boreholes in the town to fetch the water and even transport it to the farm. And it means that if they don't get the rains, their crops die. Because the river, Oda, which is just along the farms, cannot be used. It's highly poisoned. And so when you put it on the crops, they die. And so the cocoa farmers in these areas expect the rain. Those who are growing plantain around this time and other things, they cannot get water to water their crops. Now, I went to Samraboy, and one farmer showed me how illegal miners asked him to sell his farm, his cocoa farm. He said, no, I'm not going to sell. Other farmers around him sold their farms. And then they intentionally used the excavator to dig around his farm in such a way that when it rained, the Tano River overflowed his banks and destroyed his cocoa farm.
So basically, they are making it difficult for him to farm.
Yes, he doesn't have a farm, and the people have destroyed it. They are now mining because he has abandoned the farm now. They are now mining deep into his farm. And so when you get to Samraboy and you see how happy people are that the police are now getting people out of these areas. So we must do something. And after we have done that, there should be a desilting process for areas like the Ankubra at Pristia Hemai, Awudia, where the Ankubra has been banked. We can desilt and allow the river to flow and restore itself.
Erastus, My final question. I'll ask the question, then you put everything together and sum it up nicely for me. Yesterday, I saw your video of machines that had been confiscated, and the report was that those confiscated machines, there had been an order for them to be released. So wrap up on what you were saying and give us an update on that to wrap up for this morning.
Okay, so what I was going to say was that at Samra I was told that at a point in time, Samatex lost a chunk of its workforce to Galamsey. Nobody was willing to work with the company. You know, it's a timber company, and it employs about 60% of the people there. Nobody was willing to work for the company because they were going to Galamsey side. And after the raid, now the company is coming back to full force. So it means that there are other jobs that people can look up to if we do the right thing and enforce the law. Now, to your question, what happened in Kumasi wasn't good. And though there has been an explanation by the mayor as to what his intentions were, whatever the intentions were, whatever happened over there wasn't good. And I think this has happened before, even under the previous regime, where excavators that were seized were handed over to their owners, and people benefited from that. We have gotten information, and remember, we keep tabs on all the excavators that have been arrested. We are following keenly. Together with the Forestry Commission, we are in touch with the depots. We are monitoring what is happening to the seized excavators. And so that is how we got to know that some of them were being moved out of that depot, and we had to follow up and find out what is happening. Because we need, as much as we are enforcing the law, we need to be able to safeguard these equipment. If they are handed over to the Forestry Commission, finally by the court, we will still have to monitor to see what the Forestry Commission is going to do with those equipment, so they don't end back where they were seized.
Thank you, Erastus. Thank you for these updates. We'll be coming back to you in the coming days for more on this. Let's keep pushing and let's keep righting this wrong that Galamsey is wreaking on us as a country.